Back again. Wrap it up. Shout out to Coach Val, Caribbean Compass, maybe one day. I don't know. Now, the title of this story time of the Stories of Coquito is called Cabaret Coquito. Now, as you know, Mr. Larry Gaines, I was banned. And today at midnight is the last day of my banning. During that time, I have delved into different business ventures. I'm starting a history tour. I'm being more proactive in things that I do. Patreon is helping me a lot. Shout out to Jamie, John, and Chippo. The funny thing is that during that time, me and my girlfriend talk every single day. And we, during a brainstorming of just tiredness and love, we came up with an idea. Something, and you know this, and everyone knows this in my channel. My channel started with story times. My channel started with all the crazy adventures that I've seen in my life. And I've said this too. There's certain stories I can't say because YouTube will get me banned. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Coming soon on Patreon and preview sometimes on Alex Coquito, Cabaret Coquito, where me and Cardala, Muhammad, are going to talk about sexual things. Threesomes, foursomes, orgies, polyamory, monogamy, sub and dom play, furries, and there will be a triple X stories of Coquito because I have done a lot of adventures in sex, ladies and gentlemen. Things that you have never even imagined in pornos in 1997. Okay? So I thought to myself, for $10 a month, you will get uncensored talk with topics of sex and everything else. And coming soon as well, my co-host Cardala is going to do a private once a week reading on Patreon as well with tarot and everything else and spiritual stuff. I don't know anything about that. She's the expert. So that's going to be on Patreon. But every Thursday for 30 minutes, you will get a vanilla version of Cabaret Coquito, where we will talk about polyamory or threesomes or switch play, but in a vanilla version. If you want the full uncensored version, patreon.com, Alex Coquito, links down below. But it started because I told myself, and I told you, I want to keep a record history of my life. And not only my memories have been leaving me, not leaving me, but being put away, my sexual has been putting away too. Because at one point, my girlfriend doesn't know this. I'm going to say this now. Last week, I was walking to the supermarket. This is a really good story. Last week, I was going to the supermarket, and I see one of my exes, right? And it's one of the exes that I've told you that is a vampire and loves pain and bit my arm until it bled because that turns her on. A lot of things in life I've dealt with. That's a little taste. And I saw her again. And when I saw her with her new boyfriend, who was like a short little stocky version of Alfalfa. No, wait a minute. He's a short, stocky version of the guy from Toy Story. The one that would torture the dolls with the braces. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like a little short, stocky version of him. So I'm looking at him, and all those things that I did with her came flooding in like a washing machine and getting spat out you. And I called my girlfriend, and I was like, I'm having sort of a panic attack because I'm getting all these things, and I don't want to like keep having them. And she's like, why don't you do what you do in your show? Just put it out there, make a channel, and let's talk about these sexual things that you've had that you've done. Ladies and gentlemen, and I have no shame in saying this because the little delves in my life. These are the things I have been in. I'm only going to tell you 10 things. Threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes, orgies, key parties, swinger parties, wax play parties, voyeuristic parties, which I just watch. Dom sub and role play. Role play level 4. Okay? If you don't know what that is, don't Google it. Laren, don't even Google that shit. Right? But that's 10 things. In reality, I've done like maybe 125 different types of things of sex. 125, maybe 110, 115, rounding it out. I actually sat down yesterday and thought of every single thing that I remember and wrote it down as a topic. 115 topics, Laren.
Wow.
Holy shit. So that's Cabaret Coquito, where you're gonna see kind of like the 30 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo show, where every episode we're gonna just have fun talking about things. And we're gonna have guests if we get a chance. Experts, sexperts, hookers, OnlyFans, whatever. Because if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it for real. We got a comment from here. I can't see it yet. Give me a second. The commenter. Oh, Kane Destroy. What's up, you Kane? Wow, love you, man. So, what's your thoughts on it, Mr. Larry Gaines?
I mean, hey, why not? It works for you. And the best way to get over things is to talk about it. That's how I actually started with the 4-in-1 podcast. There were things that were, bothering me. And I just opened up and it just came to something else. So you might become like the male version of like Dr. Ruth or something like that.
I actually like Dr. Ruth, so that's pretty cool because again, no one talks about sex, and if they do, they talk about like, yo, you need to get the Glock 7000. You need to shake that butt. You need to twerk when you're young so you can get the training in your legs when you're 19. I'm like, I've actually heard these conversations. Yo, the guys like you need to get like a good amount on your arm, so when you get the right lady, you know what to do. No, you can be with 3 women and be the best sex worker in the world, or you could be with 1,000 men and still suck going down. So you just talk about it, and maybe it's not because of sex. Maybe you're just sad. Maybe there's something else, and we're gonna talk about that something else that no one talks about. Maybe that person has daddy issues. Why do you have daddy issues? What are the kinks that give you daddy issues? What are the things that you're going to do that stops you from doing that? Are you comfortable now in 2023 being a sugar daddy, sugar mama, or sugar baby?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
Neither one of them.
You say that, but like I said, it's 2023. You can and do and be whoever you want. So we're going to talk about that. So ladies and gentlemen, that was story time. The Stories of Coquito, the Cabaret Coquito, coming soon on Patreon and vanilla version on my channel soon. I'm